Thanks for tuning in to Steel City Football, the 4-1-2. It's a great day to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. Let's jump right in. So there's an article written today about Derrick Harmon. Steelers are absolutely buzzing. The management, the coaching staff, the Rooneys, how great Derrick Harmon is and is going to be. They think they knocked it out of the park with this pick, that he's a home run. And I'm not surprised at all. Leading up to the draft, you could check my videos. I said that the Philadelphia Eagles, they drafted the right way from the defensive line first. They built their team around that, and that the Pittsburgh Steelers needed to follow the same blueprint. But you just can't pick anybody. You know, the Philadelphia Eagles, they took mostly guys from Georgia, and it paid off. They took the best players in college football who played the best competition. Now, Derrick Harmon at Oregon, even though I love the Pittsburgh Steelers, when I watch college football, I love the Pac-10. You know, now it's the Pac-12, and they do play Penn State. You get it. But for the most part, for a long time, they didn't play teams on the East Coast. They only played on the West Coast. You know, and that's who I love. USC. That's who I would follow. So I would always watch the Oregon games. I would always watch the Pac-10 conference. And Derrick Harmon was an absolute beast and stud. And what you're going to love about Derrick Harmon is this. He's nasty. He doesn't take any plays off. He'll take on multiple blockers. He can rush the passer. When you see him, he's 6'5", 315, 320 pounds. He's very agile and nimble on his toes. Like, he moves really well. He moves like a lightweight fighter, like a 150-pound guy. I can't say enough good things about Derrick Harmon. I'm so happy that the Pittsburgh Steelers went this way in the draft and decided to take Derrick Harmon. And, you know, a lot of people were saying they should take Shedeur Sanders. That's a different video. I'm not going to get into that. I watched Derrick Harmon week in and week out in that conference. For a good solid year, I watched every single game. This guy, he played the best competition, and he is a complete monster. Let's jump into the article. Derrick Harmon has Steelers buzzing internally. Jerry Dulac says they're thinking the pick is a home run. I said it before the draft. You can check my videos. I'll tell you who's buzzing about it quietly and internally are those coaches. Dulac said of the Steelers' reaction to Derrick Harmon so far on 102.5 WDVE. They love this guy from what they have seen. They're thinking this pick is a home run. Now we'll see how it plays out. But from what they've seen so far, they think he's terrific and going to be terrific. Jerry Dulac also went on to say they are impressed with his work in practice so far. He's been very good, very good. If you watch him, if you can see him in the drills, he's a lot to handle, he said, and they don't want to go overboard, but they are thrilled with this guy. I'm telling you, he's an absolute monster. You know, I'm not just saying this. He really reminds me of Cortez Kennedy, Warren Sapp, and Mean Joe Green all rolled into one. The size of Cortez Kennedy, he could shoot the gaps like Warren Sapp, those nimble feet, and the meanness and nastiness and toughness of Mean Joe Green. And I don't say that lightly. I don't say that just easily. You know, like, oh, let me just throw a name out there. No. Even in interviews, if you watch him, and I mean this in a good way, there's some toughness there. There's some nastiness there. And I love every second of it. I love Derrick Harmon. Absolute stud. Harmon admitted that he had to adjust to NFL speed initially at training camp, but he is catching on quickly. During yesterday's practice, the Steelers broke out a 4 D-line package with him in it at the goal line. He played on the edge with Keanu Benton and Y.A. Black in the middle. For his part, Hayward said he feels responsible for ensuring Derrick Harmon's development. After the Steelers drafted Hayward, he learned under Arthur Smith, Brett Keisel, and Casey Hampton. Hayward is the only such veteran right now, but is arguably better than all of them. This is what I absolutely love about Cam Hayward. This is what I love about the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steeler way. Aaron Smith, Brett Keisel, Casey Hampton. They drafted Cam Hayward to take their spot. What did they do? They didn't pout. They didn't cry. They didn't act like the dirtbag Brett Favre and get an attitude. They saw the young guy. They saw his potential. They appreciated what the Rooney family did for him, what the black and gold did for their life, for their family. And to give back, they trained the younger guy. And this is why I love Cam Hayward. All the success that he's had. He could be a grumpy old guy at this point and be like, I'm not trading him. F him. That's not in my contract. But I wouldn't expect Cam to do that. And he doesn't do that. What does he do? He takes Derrick Harmon under his wing, shows him the Steeler way. That's why I love the Pittsburgh Steelers. Love it. I absolutely love this attitude. And don't take this for granted, because a lot of NFL players do not have this attitude. And the media, they love Brett Favre, little kid enthusiasm. He is the biggest dirtbag on the planet. When it came to trading Aaron Rodgers, just the way he carried, the media is nothing but just lies and falsehood, and they worship the worst kind of human beings on the planet. And yes, I'm talking about Brett Favre. He's an absolute dirtbag for what he did to Aaron Rodgers when Aaron Rodgers was drafted. But for the most part, that's not the Steeler way. Pittsburgh Steelers, they don't do that. The young guy comes in and their replacement, and it's towards the end. You'll see them out there for hours after practice working with the young guy to show him the ropes. And I can't say enough good things about players that do that. And most of those players are Pittsburgh Steelers. You even see this with Jaylen Warren, with Caleb Johnson. Jaylen Warren's super competitive. He wants to be the starter. And Pittsburgh Steelers draft a running back and Caleb Johnson. Caleb Johnson shows up. And what do you see after practice every day? You see Jaylen Warren working with Caleb Johnson, working on pass protection. And what's the number one thing to get Caleb Johnson on the field? Pass protection. Jaylen Warren could easily get an attitude. Oh, F this. I want to be the starter. I'm not helping anybody. But what does he do? He doesn't do that. He does it the Steeler way. And I have nothing but respect for Jaylen Warren and Cam Hayward for acting in a professional manner. Aaron Rodgers says that Roman Wilson needs to trust himself. Let's let Aaron tell you what he has to say.
Got to get real out of his head a little bit, because I think he's such a good kid. He cares so much about whether it's my approval or he's doing it right, and he just got to trust himself because he's so damn talented. The more he can play free and not think out there, the better he's going to play. So the more he can just trust what he's got and then just go out and react, the better he's going to play.
Yeah, we're listening to what Aaron had to say about it. That's just Roman Wilson. He's probably pressing. He's stressing because he missed all last year. So he's getting on the field. Now he has an elite stud quarterback, and he's really pressing himself. Just take a deep breath, man, and just show up for work every day, and eventually things will get easier, and, you won't press so hard, and everything will fall into place. I really believe in Roman Wilson. I don't think he's going to be a bust at all. The talent's there and the attitude's there. With those two things, it's hard to fail in the NFL. TJ Watt explains changes in workout routine with longevity in mind. Watt went on to say, "It's trying to be the best football player I can possibly be," Watt said via CBS Sports HQ with Evan Washburn. "I think early in my career, I was just trying to be as big, fast, and strong as I possibly could be. And obviously, I'm still working towards those things, but it's not like heavy prowler pushes or I can squat heavy 1 week, but then I have to pull it back. It's not like every single week is a total grind. A lot more conditioning, a lot more mobility, flexibility, things like that, so I can extend my career as long as I can." TJ also went on to say he may have altered his routine, but Watt made it clear that he's just as motivated as ever to be the best player he can possibly be. "It consumes my life. It really does," Watt said. Well, I absolutely love hearing that. The thing with TJ Watt is this: there is no off button. So no matter what he's doing, whether it's the weight room, no matter, he's giving 1,000%. 1,000%. Attitude, effort, on the field, off the field, recovery, you name it, it's 1,000 miles per hour. I don't think we're going to see any drop-off anytime soon from the legendary, the one and only, future Hall of Famer and Super Bowl winner, TJ Watt. And with that being said, thanks for tuning in to Steel City Football, the 4-1-2.